Hello Moto GP fans. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Yamaha made measurable progress in 2025, notably solving tire heating issues that unlocked qualifying pace, yet race day performance stayed stubbornly behind the leaders. Engineers and Michelin officials say the package shows promise on a single lap, but tire degradation and straight-line deficits still limit Sunday results. Pecco Bagnaia arrived at Ducati as one of the sport's brightest talents, but 2025 turned into a mystery season of wild inconsistency. Former team boss Herve Poncharal has been blunt. He can't find a clear technical reason for the slump and believes psychological factors, including the impact of a teammate suddenly outperforming you, played a big role. Valentino Rossi's VR46 racing team will lift the curtain on its 2026 Ducati machines in a high-profile presentation in Rome on January 14th. The Pertamina Enduro-sponsored event at Villa Miani promises spectacle, live stream access, and the formal confirmation of a squad that grew into a top 3 team in 2025. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. After years of struggling to get heat into the rubber, Yamaha's 2025 development finally reduced that deficit. The result: strong qualifying pace and multiple pole positions, particularly from Fabio Quartararo, who was able to exploit that one-lap edge. Engineers credit setup changes and riding technique that put more load into the front and rear tires early in the lap, allowing the M1 to stick and attack in qualifying trims. That single-lap turnaround gives the team a platform to build from, but it's only the beginning of the fix. Now they improve that, and Fabio is very strong to do that because he's very aggressive, he's braking very hard. The takeaway is clear: solving tire warm-up unlocked a visible gain, but it also exposed the bike's remaining weaknesses when the rubber falls away across a race distance. Technical direction at Yamaha emphasizes that rider experience has been critical to squeezing performance from the YZR-M1. Quartararo's deep familiarity with the machine lets him interpret its limits and adapt his style, braking later, modulating throttle, to compensate for straight-line shortcomings. That tactical adaptation won poles and a rare podium, showing that human factors can partially offset hardware gaps. Still, relying on one rider's bespoke technique isn't a sustainable path to consistent race results across the roster. He grew up in Yamaha, so he knows the positive and negative character of the bike. Quote from Yamaha's technical director Max Bartolini. In short, rider knowledge reduced the short-term pain, but Yamaha needs hardware solutions for broader consistency. The deeper issue is race pace. Engineers described a dramatic fall-off for the M1 as tires lose grip. Where rivals drop a few tenths, Yamaha can lose far more, making tire management on Sundays a near-impossible balancing act. Even when the chassis and geometry improved, the package could not be fully exploited because the engine and grip window limited options once the tires started to go off. That explains why the team could convert poles into few podiums, and why race engineering remains the #1 priority. When the tires lose grip, like for everybody, the others lose 0.2 and we lose 10. This is our problem that we have right now. The language is blunt but accurate. Qualifying is fixed. The race remains Yamaha's core headache. Michelin's input suggests an intriguing nuance. The M1's behavior with used tires is actually less aggressive and therefore easier to manage, meaning some circuits and race windows suit Yamaha better as rubber wears. That implies Yamaha's strength remains mid-corner speed and handling, and if engineers can widen the usable grip window or tame the late-stage tire behavior, Sunday competitiveness should improve. The winter development therefore needs to focus on predictable tire behavior over a stint, not only peak grip. When the tire is used, the tire movement is more progressive, it's more gentle, so it's more easy to anticipate. It helps you to get the correct line, and it's something that can help Yamaha because we know that the strong point, is the speed in the corner. Quote from Michelin's Piero Terramasso. That's the blueprint. marry the M1's corner speed with a tire management profile the riders can count on for race distance. Yamaha's 2025 season was a mixture of technical progress and persistent limits, an improved qualifying package, smarter rideability from experienced pilots, but a stubborn race deficit caused by tire behavior and straight-line performance. The winter must deliver a broader grip window and engine/aero steps so qualifying gains translate into Sunday results. If the team can turn incremental improvements into consistent race pace, 2026 could convert promise into podiums. Otherwise, the M1 will remain a specialist at turning single fast laps into uneasy Sundays. Bagnaia went from multiple race winner and championship challenger to a rider who scored just 2 victories and scored no points in the final 5 rounds. The drop is startling because the machinery hasn't suddenly vanished. Ducati remained among the best bikes on track. Poncharal frames the season as a puzzle, one where talent and resources were present but results evaporated. He points to swings in confidence and moments of confusion rather than a single mechanical failure. Pecco certainly still knows how to ride a motorcycle. Quote from Herve Poncharal. That endorsement is important. Poncharal isn't questioning Bagnaia's talent, only the factors that prevented him from converting that talent into consistent results this year. Marc Marquez's entry and immediate dominance at Ducati reshaped internal dynamics. When a teammate begins to win consistently, it alters everything: setups, expectations, media pressure, and the psychological landscape inside the garage. Poncharal warns that watching a teammate operate as if unaffected by the same problems can unnerve even the most gifted rider, and it becomes harder for engineers and riders to isolate what's wrong when one man appears to have the answer. Have a teammate like Marc Marquez doing what he does on the bike was surely a shock. That shock can create second-order problems, doubt, setup overcorrections, and a loss of the instinctive feel that made a rider great. Poncharal draws an historical parallel to Valentino Rossi's dominance at Yamaha. Teammates with identical machinery sometimes simply couldn't replicate a champion's results because they couldn't interpret or reproduce the fine details in the data. Showing another rider's telemetry can be demoralizing rather than instructive if the mental gap is large. Poncharal suggests Bagnaia may have experienced the same phenomenon. The data are not a panacea when confidence has been dented. When we showed Valentino's data to the others, they said, "I can't do it." That reaction explains why technical fixes alone rarely cure confidence problems. When a rider believes he cannot replicate the reference, the problem becomes as much mental as mechanical. Perhaps the most unsettling line from Poncharal is his conclusion that there's no real reason. In plain technical terms, for Bagnaia's slump, the bike was still among the best, the team has long experience, and Bagnaia knows his engineers. That forces Ducati and the rider to look beyond simple setup changes, towards psychology, incremental testing, and possibly different working methods to rebuild belief and rhythm ahead of 2026. So, in my opinion, there's no real reason, for his struggles. Without a smoking gun mechanical fault, the remedy is likely to be multidimensional: rider coaching, a careful winter test plan, and team psychology work, not just another component swap. Herve Poncharal's verdict leaves Ducati with a tough off-season: fix what can be fixed, but also address what can't be measured easily: confidence, role identity, and the psychological effect of being outshone inside your own garage. For Bagnaia, the priority will be rebuilding the instinctive trust between rider and bike. For Ducati, it will be managing expectations and support so that talent has the space to return. The 2026 season may well be a test of technical solutions and human resilience. VR46 has chosen an unmistakably glamorous setting for the launch: Villa Miani, an elegant venue overlooking Rome. That location underlines the team's transformation from grassroots project to premium, media-savvy outfit, a team that now stages global moments, not just trackside briefings. The choice of Rome will also spotlight the Italian identity of the team and its riders, turning the presentation into both a sporting and cultural moment for fans and sponsors. Expect carefully staged visuals, sponsor activations, and a broadcast-grade live stream, the kind of launch that helps a team frame its season narrative months before the first test. VR46 arrives at this launch with real momentum. The 2025 campaign delivered measurable progress, a third-place finish in the team's standings, multiple GP and sprint podiums, and the presentation will be as much about consolidating that progress as it is about presenting new livery. For sponsors and partners, this is the moment to celebrate a trajectory from promising project to consistent top-tier contender. VR46 wants to be seen not as a surprise package but as a permanent contender, and the launch will be designed to sell that vision to fans, partners, and the paddock alike. There's a local narrative woven into the event. Both Fabio Di Gianantonio and Franco Morbidelli have deep Italian ties, and presenting the bikes in Rome plays directly to that story. It's a PR masterstroke, a hometown showcase that ties national pride to commercial visibility, while giving the riders a stage to set expectations for their second season together on Ducati machinery. The team will use the event to emphasize continuity, ambitions, and the roadmap to fighting for podiums and race wins. That hometown angle also helps international broadcasters frame the story. Italy, VR46, Ducati, rising results, a neat narrative package for the winter news cycle. VR46 knows how to turn a launch into content. The presentation will be streamed live on the team's YouTube channel and other digital platforms, meaning global fans can watch the reveal in real time. For followers who can't travel to Rome, the live stream is the invitation to experience the spectacle, see the new livery up close, and hear the riders outline their targets for 2026. It captures live audiences across Europe and the Americas, while still being accessible for Asian viewers via replay or highlights. VR46's Rome launch on January 14th will be more than a livery reveal, it's a statement of intent. After a year of concrete progress, the team will use Villa Miani's spotlight, hometown rider narratives, and a global live stream to frame 2026 as the season to press for consistent podiums and race wins. Tune in at 12 o'clock local time on the VR46 YouTube channel. It's the winter's first real hint of how serious Valentino Rossi's project will be next year. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your Moto GP news update. And see you next time!